It's season 3 of Riding with the Outlaw.
MBI.
Yes, ma'am. I was calling to see if the MBI had any remarks for accusations of it being complicit in an ongoing scandal involving the Oxford mayor.
Okay. And what is your name?
My name's Matt Reardon.
Pardon?
My name is Matt Reardon.
Oh. Okay. And a phone number for you, Mr. Bearden?
662-812-1613.
Yes, sir.
I've called 5 times. This is the 5th time now. I've described the scandal to the T. I've produced unsurpassed amounts of evidence. At this point, the only explanation for the MBI not getting in touch with me like I've been told every time is that they are complicit in the scandal. And I'm making the direct accusation of the MBI being complicit in everything going on for the simple fact of they have neglected their own duties. They have allowed nonsense election fraud to go on. They have allowed an innocent citizen to stay framed that was part of an election stunt, and they have refused to so much as even pick up the phone and talk to me. There's no other way of looking at it than the MBI is complicit in feeding directly out of the hands of the problem.
Okay, sir. Well, I apologize that no one has called you back. I can dispatch the message.
I know. It's your organization that's corrupt, though. It's not you. You've passed the message along, but, corrupt individuals in your organization have seemingly propelled and allowed this problem to go on and have fed it with gasoline.
Okay, well, sir, if you have any issues with our agency, it can be reported to the Attorney General's office.
Yeah, the Attorney General's office is just as complicit because I've reached out to them. I mean, for nobody to even look at the evidence that's right in front of their very eyes just says a lot of the status quo of our country and its agencies. And it's absolutely sickening.
Okay, sir. Well, I apologize. There's nothing that I can do to help you other than providing this information to someone to have them return your call. Now, at what point they do that, I have no control over that, sir.
I understand that, but I'm just all I'm saying here is that this is something that when it blows up into a bigger problem, the finger pointing is going to be directly at the agencies that did not do anything about it. That were begged to intervene.
Sir. Okay. Well, let me get this message. Let me verify I have your number. 662-812-1613.
Correct.
Okay. I will pass this message along, sir.
Hey, Mr. Bearden.
Mr. Reardon.
Hey, this is Brian Sullivan with MBI out of the Batesville office. How are you?
Good, Brian. How you doing?
Good. I had a phone message to call you, so I wanted to return your call and see if I could help you.
I'm trying to figure out what is going on. It's like I've lost all trust and faith in our government. I have reached out to the MBI 4 times. Each of the times I gave all the information, and I was advised by the lady that somebody with the MBI would reach out to me. This is
that was probably Ms. Sharon. So she contacted me today after lunch.
Yes, sir. Well, she was supposed to contact you, each of the other 4 times. This has been an ordeal that's been going on. It's been going on for 3 years, for 3.5 years, and I've literally, I've been crying out for help. To the appropriate agencies.
Tell me what's going on, and if I can help you, I will. If not, I can redirect you to maybe somebody who can.
Okay, well, it's election fraud. It's a public corruption scandal. That I was back in May of 2007.
Well, let me. Where is this at?
Oxford. It's involving Mayor Robin Tannehill.
Okay, Lafayette County. All right. Have you called the Attorney General's office?
They don't care. Yeah.
Well, they would be the ones that would work this, not MBI. They have a public integrity division, that's what they do. They would work something like this, not FBI.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, Brian. It's turned into something a lot larger because it's definitely turned into an issue where the NBI can help facilitate things because I'm being targeted by state agencies, by the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department. The Sheriff's Department has got so much blood on their hands. It's unbelievable. If you don't mind, I'd like to kind of give you the brief rundown because I was arrested 3 times in 3 months. There's actually a new thing involving the Oxford Police Department now where my wife's brother had used her vehicle to take the kids to the grandmother's house and they made a felony stop on her car. Oxford Police Department made a felony stop on her car and, ordered her brother out of the car at gunpoint with 2 minor children in the back seat and, my kids, they already don't trust law enforcement because of what happened to me. I was framed for a crime that I literally could not have possibly committed. The FBI has destroyed records. The U.S. Attorney's Office has been complicit because they were the ones that advised me to sit down with the FBI because I had a death threat on me and the Tannehills had taken out an injunction to block me from speaking at City Hall on the day of her election. And so, I had just recently taken the kids to the police station to convince them that, not all cops are, most majority of police are great. There's, like in anything in life, there's a few bad apples in every bunch that ruin it for the others. And here they, I sat down with Jeff McCutcheon a week and a half ago to review the body cam footage.
When Joey wants to talk to me, I'll move.
There was an officer that was questioning the minor children, off on his own, off camera. So I, of course, asked for that body cam.
I'm not being disorderly.
I wanted to see what was being discussed, what they were questioning the minor children about, without the presence of the guardian. It's taken a week for them to get the body cam footage. I'm supposed to meet with him today at 4:00 to see what all was discussed. But I mean, it's like literally the sheriff of Lafayette County, Joey East. I sent multiple emails just trying to get the equal protections of the laws. Lafayette County has lost all sight of the 14th Amendment.
I'll move when I talk to Joey. Joey knows I'm out here waiting. He needs to come out and talk to me. I'll move when I talk to Joey. When Joey wants to talk to me, I'll move. Otherwise, I'm not breaking any law just for parking in a spot that says reserved for the Sheriff's Department. I'm here at the Sheriff's Department.
Or you will go to jail for disorderly.
I'm not being disorderly. I'm moving my car! I'm moving my car! I was moving my car! Ah! Really? Ah! I said I was moving my car! Oh! Stop! Stop!
I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I signed up. I signed a never-ending oath to our country. I took a oath that never expires back in 2007 to protect and defend the Constitution, and that's what I've done. I haven't broken any laws, and I've been steadily, it's like the state of Mississippi and its agencies, and trying to cover up for their own grave misdoings, have, left a liability wake 3 times wider in its path and trying to cover themselves for the previous errors.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm over here, I'm drowning. I have no attorney. I'm in a Supreme Court appeal right now. I got like 7 different legal matters going on where I'm having to fight as my own attorney against a system that is clearly rigged, because they've broken every law in the Mississippi Rules of Criminal Procedure and even the Mississippi Bill of Rights and Constitution. They are not providing due process. They're not, this is just it's a laughing stock.
Well, may I ask why you haven't secured an attorney? Because that might be one of the better routes to take.
I've been literally disenfranchised to the fullest by the state of Mississippi. I was charged with aggravated stalking in May of 2017. It was a week before the mayor's election. I was slotted to speak at City Hall on the day of her election, June 6th, right after Joey East, and that was effectively canceled. They kept me imprisoned for 6 weeks' time, coincidentally, until a week after she was sworn into office. And then they forced a plea deal where I had to sign a banishment order, agreeing to be banished from Oxford and Lafayette County for 5 years.
Was a stalking charge, did you say?
Yeah, they said on or before May 8th, I put the Lynches, who owned Frank and Marley's in Oxford, that I put them in fear of their life with an AR-15. I didn't purchase the AR-15 until May 20th, and the FBI knew that. I sat down with them the day before I was arrested, and I met with them because I had a death threat that was put on me, and the Tannehills had taken out an injunction blocking me from coming within 500 feet of them, or 500 yards, so it effectively canceled my speaking, and so I met with the feds on that. The feds knew that I didn't purchase the AR-15 until May 20th, and literally they have sat around like a lifeguard with their hands stuck in the cookie jar watching a child drown, because in order for me to truly be guilty of the state's charge, it would automatically mean that I was lying to the FBI and I should have been federally charged, and I'm asking for an indictment so that one way or the other, I want a trial. I want the evidence to come out, because it's not fair that she is running for a second term as mayor, basically, unchallenged. And, the first 4 years were illegitimate because it was done under false pretenses. She had me jailed and silenced.
I'm very adept at balancing lots of different responsibilities and lots of different roles.
She says again, this is something for the Attorney General
prepare for the role she's in.
A really good attorney. If you can get your hands on
I don't have any money because literally I lost all opportunity, and I'm having to beat time deadlines as my own attorney because no attorney will represent me because Ray Tannehill is her husband.
And from Oxford, yes, sir. I understand that.
I mean, he's a well-known attorney, so he's playing a large part in this, and it's not fair that I get targeted for something that would have been an impossibility for me to commit. And certainly the feds should charge me with lying to the FBI if they really truly think that I'm guilty of doing something that literally I have a bill of sale showing that I couldn't. Judge Carolyn Bell would not. I said I had proof of my innocence at the initial hearing for bond. They kept me locked up for 4 days before they gave me a bond hearing, knowing that 48 hours is the maximum before I'm supposed to go before a judge. She set my bond at $150,000, even though I've never been accused of a felony. They set it there because they knew that I couldn't afford it and my family couldn't afford to get out.
Right.
They did not afford me a preliminary hearing, which the state of Mississippi requires within 14 days, or else I'm supposed to be released on my own recognizance. That didn't happen. They kept me locked up for 6 weeks to steer the outcome of an election or to basically get the mayor's problem out of the way, silence, and then effectively banish him for 5 years. So for the term of the mayor's, the mayor's term.
Right.
And I mean, surely, God, there's something you guys can do, can work with the. I mean, I'm over here fighting for my life here, exhausted, financially worn down, and I can't get anybody to do a thing. And it says a lot about this status quo of our country, of our agencies, that this is allowed to go on. This nonsense is allowed to go on. And if the government can turn the gun on one of its own that pledged a lifelong oath to protect it, it could do it to anybody.
Yes, I understand your frustration, but just please understand that NBI just does not work public corruption. We refer everything to the Attorney General's office.
Well, I would like y'all to, at least a sign of good faith, do an investigation into this last traffic stop with Oxford Police, because here's the thing. Jeff, I know, is covering for his officers,
But the reason they did the felony stop, they said that he didn't pull over for 1 minute and 36 seconds. He was going through a construction zone. You know the construction zone in Oxford on 7?
They're everywhere, yes, sir.
Yeah, so because there were signs and it was starting the construction area, because he pulled over right after the construction zone, right across the street from Dollar General, they said it took 1.5 minutes, 1:36 seconds to pull over, and that justified a felony takedown. You know, if that was an old person or a pregnant woman, you know, Jeff claims that that's in protocol. Well, if that's in protocol, y'all's protocol is wrong, because, you know, that's the reason why law enforcement is getting a bad rap with the media and you know, things like that. It's directly playing into the narrative. You know, that's uncalled for to do a felony takedown, you know, especially, and then to freak out 2 minor children and then, you know, have an officer off scene, off camera question them.
I understand your frustration. Again, I really do. You're obviously a well-educated and very articulate person, so I'm not doubting anything you're saying. But just please understand that that's just not anything NBI is going to look into.
Is it because I'm not a mayor? I'm not a, you know.
It's because
I know if Mayor Tannehill, Mayor Robert Tannehill, if she asks for something, she gets it with the NBI.
No, sir. She's never asked me for anything.
There was an investigation a little while back where she got, you know, she announced that she'd spoken to the NBI and they had opened up an investigation into something. And, you know, I just
what was the matter?
I can't remember what it was right off the top.
Yes, sir.
I just know that she needs to take the plank out of her own damn eye.
Have you even contacted the Attorney General?
I reached out to the Attorney General's office today. You know, it's sad that I just released an 1 hour and 45-minute movie on YouTube. I started a production company because I was going to produce a documentary of everything with me being framed.
Definitely an outlet to get your information out. That's a good idea.
And I just released it on YouTube. It's called Riding with the Outlaw. You know, I went ahead and took the name, you know, the Outlaw, since I was basically, you know, banished from Oxford and Lafayette County. And it's called Riding with the Outlaw. It's some of the most jaw-dropping evidence. It's not even stuff that's even questionable. It's absolutely just in-your-face jaw-dropping. And the Tannehills are staying silent. She refuses to even say anything. You know, nobody is taking it seriously. I've been, you know, the media was the first ones to just slash my name through, you know, just really just run me through the ringer. But when it comes to me having undoubtable evidence that I'm producing, they are crickets, you know, and it's not fair that my name got just destroyed on lies. And when I'm trying to, you know, correct all the lies and nonsense, nobody's willing to help me.
Yes, sir. The Attorney General, they have a public integrity division. That is all they do.
Well, I talked to them this morning, and they sent me over. She kind of cut me off and said, you have to do some paperwork. I've done paperwork for you know, people. I've you know, written this thing over and over and over again, and I just can't believe that somebody can't just take the time to look at what I've got on YouTube, on any of my websites. You know, I'm not on social media hardly because I've been permanently banned from just about every social media outlet because they're trying to selectively choose the news that people get.
I'm not
being disordered.
I'm moving my car.
It's very unfortunate, you know, and I'll never regain my, you know, trust with the United States government after this. And I don't think anybody could ever blame me. That literally, you know, I've done nothing wrong here. And my ex, back in November of 2018, she tried to make the assertion that I raped her. And I had to get interrogated on that. Luckily, I wasn't arrested, but she came out saying on a recorded call with me that her husband conspired with her to you know, put the fake accusation of rape on me. This was a year after she tried to make a fake allegation that I had molested my daughter. And
again, those are reasons why you've got to do what you got to do to come up with a proper attorney, because that's just wrong. You know,
it is wrong.
You can't get away with that.
But if you got no attorney that's willing to work with you, that sees, you know, that's compassionate in it, you know, money just doesn't. I can't just pull the money to hire somebody like the Freeses when I literally am. I got 4 kids now, and my family is hurting because I'm unemployed, having to fight my own battles, so I don't miss time deadlines, and I'm steadily getting charged by additional, you know, rung up on additional charges by the state. You know, I've got 6 different charges in justice court right now. 3 days after Christmas, I went up to the sheriff's department wanting to speak to the sheriff, and I parked in the spot right next to him, and I was thrown on the ground by 2 deputies and arrested for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest simply because I said I wasn't being disorderly. I just wanted to speak to the sheriff.
Wow.
I mean, this is stuff the MBI needs to be investigating. It's the wrongful arrests that are happening. It's part of a cover that I have.
Wish you would give the Attorney General another call, and whatever, you know, if they want you to write it out again, I just ask that you write it out again for them, because they're the ones that needs to work this. MBI is not going to touch it.
Well, what is it that the MBI does then?
What do we do?
I mean, my understanding is y'all are the state version of the FBI.
No, sir. We're an assisting agency. We assist local agencies in investigations. When there's an officer involved shooting, though, we obviously would take lead on that.
Right. If it's misconduct in a department, though, I mean,
we don't do that. That's the Attorney General's office.
So it's strictly limited to officer involved shootings. Y'all don't have much of a workload then. I mean, I'm a little bit blown away here.
Yes, sir. I just implore you to call them back and give them a shot.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.